kind of surreal talking to you after, just such a fan. I love your stuff. So it's like, oh, I'm actually talking to the guy that I watch the stuff all the time. It's kind of
Yeah, dude. Yeah, on this very couch, I shoot so much stuff.
yes.
As I do everything here.
Yeah. You just dropped a new video today. It's hilarious. The Wiener Dogs.
Oh, thanks, dude. Yeah, man.
How's that? Is it getting a
I
good
wish I had gotten
reception?
a recording of the actual dog that I saw the other day because it was just like back was just straight like that. And I'm like, that would have been great to actually get a video of it. I walked in
Oh,
to get a
okay.
sketch till I had already walked away.
Oh, but you did have the deer at the end for some
Dude,
reason.
did you see that? The elk. Now I'm just I guess I'll just start making just start putting elks at the end of all my end of all my
Wait, so that wasn't that was an accident.
It was a total accident, dude. I don't know. I use this app to um, edit my sketches sometimes, and I guess I accidentally included an old clip. That was from August too. That was such an old clip of elk. I don't know how it ended up at the end of this video. It's so perfect for my brand, though.
I thought you were fucking with us. I was like, oh, this is some sort of like weird artistic thing that he's doing. And I was like, I don't get it. I'm too stupid, but
No, just a good old fashioned accident. But now I'll start working it in.
that's awesome. I love it. But then that's the thing is like they're like, oh, this is like just typical Ryan just doing
Yeah,
weird
yeah.
shit.
No one really thought much of it. Everyone was like, "I like those wiener dogs at the end there." Like, oh yeah, those were actually. I didn't realize I woke up this morning. I was like reading the YouTube comments. Everyone was like, "Why was there deer at the end of this?" And I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about, deer at the end of this?" Then I watched the video. I'm like, "Oh, what the fuck? How did this happen?"
But then you reposted on Instagram and you left the elk in there, right?
I reposted on a bunch of the apps and took the elk out, but then on Instagram it was already too far in. Too many people had commented and seen it. And I was like, you know what? I'll just leave the elks in there.
Yeah, that's awesome. So which one does the best for you? Because you're now I don't think last time we talked, I don't think TikTok was really a big thing, but now TikTok is huge. Is that the biggest one for you?
Sometimes it's the biggest and sometimes it's the worst. TikTok is all over the place. I'll put the same videos across like every app, and sometimes on TikTok it'll get 500,000 views, and then all the other apps will get like 1,000 views, and sometimes TikTok for whatever reason they I don't know how the algorithm works. It'll get 200 views or something like that. It's like it's so random. I cannot stand
Yeah.
it.
I don't get it either. Yeah, for me it seems like TikTok a lot of actually YouTube for me typically does the best when I do like if a YouTube short. But then sometimes if something's going to really blow up, it's on TikTok.
Yeah, that's the only way anything can ever really blow up, but it so rarely does. And I
Yeah,
the
what is
occasional
your
one.
biggest thing?
My
Is it
biggest
still
thing
about
on TikTok was I think the IRS sketch.
oh, okay, that's yeah, because I think you had it on the bookmarked or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, like I have like 3 or 4 that have gotten like a bunch of views. Well, let me put my headphones in here.
Oh yeah, headphones are good.
Um,
Yeah, it is just weird how certain things, certain apps do different. I know for me, Instagram and Facebook like don't really do it. I guess I don't post very clips on Facebook, but I post the same clip on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And it's usually between TikTok and YouTube. Nothing ever does anything on Instagram unless somebody shares it. Then it might do something. But
Yeah,
Instagram seems to be the hardest.
yeah, I might occasionally get lucky on Instagram, but yeah, Instagram and Facebook are the kids aren't on Instagram and Facebook anymore. It's all TikTok. All the recommended videos I watch on Instagram are all just old TikToks, and that's the way I like it. I'm not trying to give TikTok any more support.
Yeah, I wonder if we'll still have TikTok. I mean, they're talking about like banning it and stuff too. Like I don't know, like
Yeah,
Chinese.
yeah, they've already banned it in what, like Wyoming or something like that.
Oh, did they really? They actually banned it in full state?
I forget, something like that came out a couple months ago. These poor kids, maybe not the whole state, maybe a county or something like that. But
Can you make money off TikTok? I haven't gotten that many. I mean,
oh
I'm
yeah,
not
you
because on
can.
YouTube.
I
Okay.
haven't,
Oh,
but
you
but
haven't.
people have told me that you can.
Oh, really? Yeah, because
Yeah,
you have
yeah.
a lot of followers there.
I have a decent amount. Not by TikTok standards, it's paltry. But yeah, I see so many comics just having hundreds of thousands of followers. You got to know how to do it, and I just don't want to. The amount of work it takes to like crank out constant videos. I put out videos regularly, but not like every day. Maybe like every few weeks, and the
Yeah,
amount of
how does
energy it
that
takes.
is that so is it kind of more the energy has to strike you because I think that was the thing we talked about last time with you on SNL and it didn't work out and you were kind of like, well, that might have been good because it would have been a really hard job, like a 9 to 5. Like you have to like
Yeah.
think of things. But I mean, if that's not how your mind works, sometimes it's just like something comes to you, and maybe it's 3 days in a row and then nothing for 2 months. But
Yeah, I don't know. That's how I always have thought of specifically the SNL situation is, yeah, I mean, I don't consider myself to be a super hard working guy. And something like that would just stress me the hell out. And yeah, I like, going by my own schedule and doing my own thing, but I've also haven't been forced to work like that in a while. Maybe I would adjust to it and like learn to love it. And I mean, I'm sure you can kind of get used to anything. So maybe if you get that kind of structure, and if all I have to do is like write sketches, if that was my job and I was getting paid a lot of money to do it, maybe I would have no problem. But the way I see it now, I'm like, oh my God, that sounds horrific. When am I
yeah.
going to take my naps? I like to take my little naps and do my little stretches and stuff, just all the dumb stuff I do all day.
Oh, stretches?
No, my little apps and my little stretches. You know how it goes, Chuck.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know the stretches. I know the gym. Probably should do the stretches. Guy at my gym said there's these videos on YouTube you can watch that for posture, and that you can like fix I have terrible posture. You can fix your posture with like 5-minute videos.
Oh, really? I could use that. Dude, I just got to look at this shoulder thing I just got. I got a bad shoulder, and then I saw this device on Instagram or something. Speaking of Instagram,
I have a
and
bad shoulder too. I got to see this.
this is like it's a bunch of balls, and you're supposed to so you take this. So far it's gone really bad.
This looks
So
like
you take
Pulp
this.
Fiction, like the GIMP where he puts the ball in his mouth. And
Yeah. It's a little sexual. You take this and you like spin it around like 30 rotations this way, 30 rotations that way. Then you do like different angles with your arm, and it's supposed to like strengthen, I guess, like the little muscles in your rotator cuff and stuff like that.
okay.
And I've been doing it for like 5 days, and my shoulder is the worst it's ever been. It hurts so
Really?
bad. I had to cancel a comedy show last night because my shoulder hurt so bad. I was like, I can't lift a microphone right now. It's
That's
like,
interesting.
so I'm curious if it's like hurting me, or if that's part of like the healing process, where it's kind of
And
just
this is
sore from getting better, or if I'm just really just making my shoulder even worse right now. So that's what I'm going through right now. So that's stuff like that. When am I gonna have time to do that if I'm on SNL?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then you'd have like probably pretty good health insurance if you got the NBC like
That's true.
doctors and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah,
That's
they could
probably the
probably.
good people.
Yeah, I could
Fix your
probably
stuff.
get
My
myself
dad
fixed right out.
took a CBD. He said, and this is funny because like my dad was a very conservative guy, and now he's taking like CBD and mushrooms and stuff, and said the CBD totally healed his shoulder. So maybe I'll try that.
Really? Yeah, I have some CBD that's years and years old. It's just sitting in my like medicine closet. Maybe I'll bust that out. I
Yeah.
do like the way it smells. I used to like on my back or something once. I just nothing ever it improved. Like this is a hoax. This is a liberal hoax. But I have heard people swear by it. Maybe
Yeah.
I'll try that.
Yeah, and mushrooms, if you ever have a brain injury, my dad took mushrooms and he said it healed he fell off a ladder. And I was like all worried. And then he said he took mushrooms and the doctors were baffled. So or you can just take mushrooms.
Really? Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, mushrooms they make you smarter.
You
They're good
took
for the brain.
mushrooms on a plane, right? Once or something.
Yeah, man, I forgot about that. Yeah, that was a bad idea. I wouldn't. I do
Really?
love mushrooms. Yeah, that was awful. I like had a panic attack. Plane, you never want to do anything, not even like weed really on a plane. I like being high at the airport. And then once you get high, if you're like too high on a plane, that is awful. Or it's like doing edibles and stuff. I don't really mess with that on planes.
I see. I was taking like just a small, like a half a milligram right before, because it always going on a plane just stresses me out. But there's like a little bit of edible.
Yeah, just a little
chills me
bit.
out.
Yeah.
With a couple beers too.
Do you get to the airport and you grab a couple beers at the bar? Are you that kind of guy?
Yeah, I think. I mean, unless I'm going through a phase where I'm like, all right, I'm cutting out alcohol for 90 days or something like that. Like, if I'm in a drinking mood, I would prefer to have a couple beers because I hate flying.
Yeah, it is awful. I can't sleep. Do you ever sleep on a plane?
So yeah, for like a minute or two.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, and you get in, you're like, oh, and then like, sir, would you like a drink? Oh shit! And then you freak out, and you're like, oh god, I'm in a plane.
Yeah, it is awful. And I like the aisle because I hate like crawling over people to go to the bathroom.
Yeah,
then
me
all the
too.
time,
Yeah.
yeah, I just feel like guilty. But then all the time in the aisle, you're getting your elbow and your head and your foot just crushed by the by the food cart.
Do you have to fly a lot? Because now, so we got to talk about this tour. Is this another road trip
Yes.
tour, or are you flying?
Yeah, that's what I'm flying to. And then,
Oh,
I'll rent a car once I land. But yeah, it's like the rest of the year. It's kind of like 3 legs, this tour. There's
okay.
like the October, a November, and a December. And yeah, I'm going all over the country. And it's a lot of Midwest. It's a lot of Midwest. It's a lot of Midwest. And a little bit of East Coast.
Yeah.
But pretty much all Midwest. And a little bit of the South. But yeah, I leave this week. I leave on Thursday to go to like the Kansas City area. Shows are already getting canceled.
What?
All hell is breaking loose on this tour.
From COVID or what? Like,
No, there's a venue in Wichita, and I was so pumped because I got like a few people that reached out, which is pretty rare that people will reach out and be like, "I'm coming to this show." But I had like maybe like 5 or 6 different messages. People like, "Can't wait to see you in Wichita," and I was like, "Oh, that's cool. People are actually going to come out to Wichita of all places." And we had 3 tickets sold. So I'm assuming those other people just hadn't got their tickets yet. But we only had 3 tickets sold. But I guess the venue, it's like one guy who's like putting all these together. So he texted me the other day and he goes, "Well, Wichita is done. They got their liquor license revoked, like the bar I was going to perform at.
oh.
And you don't want to watch my comedy sober. I'll tell you that." So
Hey, I watch all your stuff sober, and I like the skits because you post them in the morning. So unless I'm drinking in the morning,
yeah. Who knows? Yeah, if you got an early morning flight, maybe you'll be drinking.
yes, definitely. So, but the rest of the shows are still
So
on.
far, the rest of the shows are a go.
I can't
Yeah,
believe you performed in was it Chehalis, Washington?
dude, Chehalis was incredible. What, do you know Chehalis?
Yeah, I'm from Seattle originally, so I
Oh,
know
right on.
around the Seattle area. So yeah, when I saw that, I was like, "What?" And like, you had a friend there or something? Is that what happened?
Dude, yeah, it was. So yeah, I had a Sunday in Seattle and a Tuesday in Portland, and I posted those online. And this guy reached out who I met years ago. Honestly, didn't remember. But then when he told me, I was like, "Oh shit," because I knew he looked familiar. I also had seen him on Instagram a bunch of times too. I was like, "That's where I know I like had to have known you." But we met at like a party like 6 years ago. But he lives in Chehalis now, and he grew up there. And he reached out and he goes, "Hey, I see you're going to be in Seattle Sunday, Portland Tuesday. I can get your show in Chehalis, Washington, right in between on Monday night." And Mondays are notoriously tough nights to like book shows, or
And to get people to come, right?
so my agent says.
Yeah.
I didn't have a problem getting one on my own. But and yeah, to get people to come out on a Monday night in a small town. But this dude like just promoted the hell out of it. And just like for weeks and weeks, he was just telling everyone he knew, everyone in town, everywhere he went, and put posters up and posted about it constantly. And we got 100 people out, maybe over
Holy
100 people
shit.
in this like beautiful theater called McFiler's Theater. It's like a nice theater with like a mezzanine and like chandeliers. It was like this beautiful place, and they had like great lighting and like music and like, flashing lights when he came out on stage. And it was just like such a professional setup. And the crowd was so into it. It was the best like show of the whole tour. And Chehalis, Washington on a Monday night. So that just goes to show you can find some Monday night shows. And a lot of times I have to. Like on this tour, I got a couple. Yeah, I'm doing like a Monday in Huntsville, Alabama, and a Tuesday in Birmingham, Alabama. Those are just shows that like I reached out to people, or the guy in Birmingham was an old friend who reached out to me, lives in Birmingham now, and I was like, "If you can make Tuesday work, that's what I'm going to be there." And he's like, "Okay, we'll make Tuesday work." But it's not like people don't want to laugh on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. But it does get frustrating.
Yeah, I think people in Chehalis probably don't get a lot of comedians stopping by there, so they're probably like really excited to have.
Yeah.
Whereas in New York City and LA, it's like, oh, okay, we have comedians like every night, everybody comes here all the time. But like Chehalis is probably like, that was a big event.
Yeah, that was like the big event of their year. They had a giant. Oh, I wish I could show you. They had this giant like poster. It was in like the entrance was like a movie theater entrance with like giant posters on the side where you would put like a movie poster, but it was just like the poster for the show, which was just like my headshot. So it was just like a 7-foot tall, which I didn't realize the resolution on that headshot was that good. This is a giant poster of my face. And I was like, dude, at the end of the show, you have to let me take that home. Because my mom, whenever I perform at whatever venue, she loves to just like steal the posters. And like my aunt too, they love just like stealing the posters and keeping them. So I was like, this is gonna blow my mom's mind. I'm gonna give it to her on Christmas. And it's this gigantic poster of my head. And
That's
I can't wait to
awesome.
give it to her.
What does she
Um,
do with them? Does she hang them up, or she put them on like a scrapbook or
I don't know
something?
what my mom does. My aunt has like a whole shrine in her like basement from like all the shows where she's taking posters from. She got probably like 6 or 7 at this point. Just pictures of my face. I think my mom just keeps them like in the garage or something.
Oh,
But
that's cool.
it is true though. Like small towns like that, they're better crowds. You know, they're like, I mean, there seem to be. I mean, compared to like just a couple weeks ago, I never done stand up in Vegas before. I did a whole week in Vegas, and it was fun. But there's a couple crowds that were just like, just not feeling my comedy at all. And I understand. I'm not like for everybody. And if you're in a town like Vegas where it's all the best entertainment in the world, and you go to a comedy show thinking you're going to see like the best entertainment in the world, and then it's like me, you're going to be disappointed. I mean, I'm not terrible, but I know I'm not. But you know, if especially you don't know who I am, and I kind of go out, I do my little mumbling idiot, kind of very loose act, and you're like, what is this guy's deal? Is he like new to comedy? Why is he like stuttering and stumbling so much? Then once you get to know him, you're like, oh, that's just kind of his thing, I guess. But it was like, yeah, 6 days of shows, and man, that the first show was on like on a Monday night. But people are gonna come out because it's Vegas. But like everyone that's there during the week is all like people that are there for a conference or whatever during the day, and then they're staying at the MGM, which is where the show was. Then they're just like, well, I'll go downstairs and watch a comedy show, and they're expensive
Called
too.
there.
That was Brad Garrett's comedy club.
Oh, okay, yeah, I've heard
which
of
is
that.
a sick club. It was such a cool spot, and it's a great like location, great like foot traffic, and they have a band on the weekends, and it's such an awesome venue. But it is expensive, and if people are paying like $70, front row is like $90. And I had 2 people come out to see, the only 2 people that came out all week to actually see me, and I was just opening, I was just featuring, so I was doing like 20-minute sets.
Oh.
And they came out and they had a blast because they like know who I am, and they were the only ones laughing at a bunch of the jokes. But they were definitely like, you know, and getting the rest of the crowd going. People are kind of, you can see people being like, oh, well, they think he's funny. Maybe he is. But they were leading the charge. And then afterwards, like I hung out with them later that week, and I said, by the way, how much did those tickets cost? And they go, front row was $90. I was like, oh my God. When I like have my shows that I headline, I do 25, 20 max, maybe 25. I try to ask if I can do 15. That's what I think I'm worth. 10 to $15. But I got to make some money. So I usually do like $20. But imagine paying $90 and you see me just absolutely do my bullshit. Like my first set, I came out and I've been trying to just be kind of more, I guess, loose or like less just like hell bent on doing my material and being so robotic and autopilot. And I want to try to get better at just living in the moment and kind of doing more just riffing and crowd work and stuff, which I'm not very good at. But I want to, it's more fun, at least for me, because it's just, you know, looser and weirder. And like, I don't know what's going to happen. And, you know, there's just like a bit of a thrill to that. But I am definitely like not good at it. Yeah, but that's why I need to practice it.
Yeah, because you said that I think on your podcast you were saying that you kind of got sick of your own material, like just doing the same jokes. So you're like, all right, I'm just gonna kind of try to be a little bit looser, and so you're having more fun doing it.
It was, yeah. It's on my last tour I was doing that, and it was a blast. I was also doing a show for like 17 days in a row, so I was just kind of in a weird mind space, and I was just, you know, I was sick of my jokes. I was getting drunk every night. I missed my friends. I was just like in such like a fuck you kind of mood by the last week of that tour that I was really just like messing around a lot. And so I took that kind of energy into this week in Vegas, which was a couple of weeks after that. And I went out and I just kind of messed around. I was talking about Vegas, talking about Tape Face, which is a big act in Vegas that I think is so stupid. I tried to make fun of that and tried doing. I briefly tried doing crowd work and it went nowhere and it was just very awkward. And the first like 5 minutes of my set were just dead silent, and for good reason. I was not saying anything funny, and I'm coming off of this tour where a lot of people that are coming to see me on that West Coast tour that I did like a month and a half ago, they all like knew who I was and can appreciate that I'm just like an aloof kind of goofball. And these people, they don't know who the hell I am. So I'm coming out and being like this real nonchalant, not doing any jokes, really just moseying around the stage, low energy, and they're all just like not laughing. And I'm like, okay, sorry, I'll do my material now. And then I got to my material, and the rest of the set was good. And I didn't think much of it. I was like, okay, tomorrow I'm not gonna, mosey about that much. I'm gonna try to get some laughs. Or I'm not blind to the fact that I started so slow. But then the headliner at the end of the night, he gave me advice, and oh my God, it's humbling to be getting advice from the headliner I've been doing comedy for like 15 years. And he's like, hey, by the way, have you ever done Vegas before? And I was like, no. And he's like, can I give you some advice? And I was like, shit, yeah, okay. And he was like, just come out swinging. Come out swinging. He's like, don't talk about tape face. I was like, I thought tape face was just universally a funny thing to talk about, but these people don't know who he is.
Wait, can I hear some of the tape face stuff? I'm just curious. Like,
there was no jokes about tape face. I was just like, hey, you guys going to see tape face? And they were like, no. But I thought just merely mentioning tape face was funny enough, and it was obviously not, because it's not funny. But like, I thought it was funny.
Well, there's no punchline.
There's no punchline. I'm like, hey guys, if you guys leave after my set, you might be able to go catch tape face. The end of tape face. I'm going to see tape face at the end of my set every single night. And no joke about it. I just thought kind of talking about tape face was funny enough. And the crowd was like, we have no idea what you're talking about. Yeah. So it's just like a weird thing to talk about. But it was just like, yeah, man, not that it was kind of a nice moment almost when he had that conversation with me, because it was like just like a man to man. He's like in his 50s. He's kind of a road dog, but doing it forever. He's done every club. He knows everybody. And he just fucking kills every night.
What can you say who it was?
Yeah, it's the guy Greg Warren.
Oh, I fucking had him on the show twice.
Oh, really? Oh, dude. Yeah, he's awesome. He fucking cleaned up every night. Super nice. He crushes every time. And it was kind of like, he didn't tell me anything I didn't know.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, you got to come out and get laughs. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll try that tomorrow. But it was kind of nice. I was like equal parts like humbled and embarrassed, and also kind of like I was kind of stoked on it that he had enough respect for me to like have this man to man kind of like he saw, because he was like, I watched your set, you are funny, just like come out swinging. These people are tourists, they're in Vegas, they want entertainment, bang bang bang, don't be doing crowd work and stuff up top. And I was like, well, I'm glad he like had enough respect for me to like try to help me out, instead of like, if I had totally sucked, I think if I was just a lost cause, he would have just been like, well, my opener just sucks, that's gonna be a long week for him. But
he's a good guy. That's cool. That makes sense, because I know like Fahim, he talked about how like he would always open with the same joke where he would say that he's the Afghan Jerry Seinfeld, because he said that would like get the crowd. They'll immediately, now they love him, and so then he can do whatever he wants.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm still searching for that nice opener that I can just get the crowd on my side. That's kind of my comedy. It's annoying. It's a very slow burn kind of. I'm just just the way my mind works. I wish I could come out with a hot one-liner. And if I ever do, if the host or whatever says something weird or someone in the crowd that I come out and I like riff on that, then it's like, yes. But then I'm right back to like, well, anyway, I don't have much after that.
Well, how do you make your skits then? Because those are so fucking brilliant, in my opinion. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, I know some people might look and just go, oh, this is just some jerk off. But I think it's like, if you watch a lot of comedy and a lot of those kinds of things, like, I mean, it seems to me, it's like brilliant, because like, it's so not what other people are doing, but it's so creative and so funny. And so you don't know what you're going to say next. How do you make that?
I don't know. I mean, they're all kind of different. I used to kind of improvise a bunch of those. But they were so hard to, because I film everything, or most of my sketches I put out by myself, and I film them and edit them by myself. I just like having that like full creative control. allows me to be like as weird as I can. And that helps the videos, I think. Like you were saying, you don't know what I'm gonna say next. I think because they all are so weird. You don't know if I'm gonna just like, is this gonna be a whole video of like mispronouncing things? Or is it gonna be like a dirty video that's like not safe for work? Or is it just like ultra stupid? Or is it gonna be some weird act out? And they're all similar but different, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, they all just have that kind of this weird vibe where a lot of people don't get it. That's what I've learned from TikTok is all my videos that have like done well and got like hundreds of thousands of views will have so many comments where people don't get that it's a joke even at all. And people,
Right.
it's insane. Like
Well, I
the
saw
level of
a
stupidity.
comment on your the tour video when you have the tour poster and it's called The Man Without a Brain.
Mhm.
And I still don't know if this person was joking, was your friend, or if they were being serious, but they were saying like, hey, don't be so hard on yourself. You do have
Yeah.
a brain. And I was laughing so hard. I was like, I don't know if this is serious or they're
Yeah,
joking.
I
but
did
either
see
way, it's
that.
funny.
I'm like, yeah, like, come on. Like, yeah, I'm just, I put that out because I'm really down on myself. Like, Jesus. Let's
Oh,
just
yeah.
laugh at the fact that I'm dumb and it's fun. Just
Yeah,
having fun with how dumb I can be.
Isn't that also like a spoof of the Steve Martin movie, The Man with Two Brains? Or wait, wasn't there a movie
I
like
didn't, I didn't think about that.
the poster kind of looks similar to me? I don't
Oh,
know.
does it? I don't know.
Yeah.
I never
No,
seen that poster. Now I'm gonna get canceled. Stealing
shit,
Steve Martin
no.
stuff.
That's the thing, isn't it? Like if you accidentally do a joke too similar, then people say you stole the joke. But I mean, it could be also possible that you both thought of the same thing.
Oh yeah, I mean, I had a video on Don't Tell Comedy. Don't know if you're familiar with them. They have like just kind of comedy like company that does shows all
Yeah.
over the
Mhm.
country, but then started doing like producing like clips online and even starting to do like full specials now. But they had a clip online from a show and they get a bunch of subscribers and views and stuff. And it was a clip. I did a few with them, but one was about, and someone was asking for it recently because they couldn't find it. And the reason they couldn't find it was because they had to take it down. But it was basically about how in the NFL, when you get like a penalty in the NFL, they say your number and they like call you out and embarrass you, as opposed to like other sports, they kind of just like do like a motion and like point or whatever. But on football, they get on the microphone and they say like number 95. And so I'm just making fun of how like embarrassing that must be. And it did well, and like a lot of people liked that joke, and it was doing so well. I was like sending it, for like to bookers and stuff because it was clean too. I think for the most part. And then they sent me an email one day. They were like, "Hey, we got a comment that this is really similar to someone else's bit," and it was from like the 80s or 90s. And they sent me the bit, and you would not believe how similar it was. It was he had a bunch of, I don't forget who the comic was, but we had phrases like full phrases that were like exactly the same. A couple of them, we were just like saying the same thing and almost the same cadence, and it was like eerie. And it's a comic I've never seen, a clip I've never seen. So sometimes, your mind just lines up with something else.
Or
And
do
the
you
truth
think
is,
too it's possible you did see it one night when you were drunk or something at 2 a.m. and
no,
forgot
Chuck,
about it?
no, no, it was my own bit. I don't think so, because honestly, I don't watch a lot of stand up, especially not old 80s stand up. So I don't think so, but maybe that happened to me at an open mic too. Years and years ago, this guy almost like fought me. I just did a joke about that movie Blackfish, that like orca movie. And it
Yeah.
was like a long bit. It was like a 5-minute long bit. And then this older guy came up, this like older black guy came up. Doesn't matter. But he came up and he was like, it mattered because he came up and he was threatening me. That's why it mattered. It made it scarier.
Okay.
But he's like, I know you took that bit from me. I know you did. And I was like, dude, I like just wrote that joke like a week ago as I did that for the first time. And he's like, I did that joke at this open mic 2 weeks ago, and I know you were here, and I know you were here. I remember seeing you, and I know you saw that bit, and I know you stole it. And I was like, man, I was really like, I don't think I've ever seen you before. But he's like, you know what? You can have it. you could have it. I got a million of them. And then he let me have it, but I never really did it again. Now I was scarred after that happens. I was like, oh, I don't want people to be talking about that I stole this bit from this grizzled older man. But yeah, stuff like that happens all the time. So many similar bits. I had like a joke. Honestly, I had a joke that it was a tweet, and then it was like a funny tweet, and so that I said it on stage, and then I was getting laughs on stage, and then after that, like maybe a year later, I saw another comic who I like and respect tweet like the same exact joke. This is like a wordplay kind of joke. It's not that hard of a joke to think of. But I scrolled all the way back through my tweets to try to find my original tweet, which was like a year before, and I screenshotted it, not to call out the person, I just saved it. I said I still have it saved, like on like a flash drive, in case anyone or that comic sees my like stand-up clip where I say that joke, and they're like, hey, I tweeted, that was like my tweet, because that tweet got a lot of likes. Hers did, I think, probably even more than mine. So she was like, I actually tweeted that. So I have the proof going, I actually tweeted this a year before you. But the stand-up clip came out after she had tweeted my joke. So stuff like that happens all the time.
Yeah, that is crazy to think. And especially now with so many fucking comedians and so many clips on so many different apps, like how could you keep it all straight? It's
yeah. Yeah, especially the way stand-up is happening now, where all these clips are just like 10 seconds long.
Yeah.
It'll just be like a lot of just a quick little riff or a little crowd work, and like that. Well, now I can't post my clip where I say the exact same thing. Oh no.
Almost like you almost want to post your clips like as soon as you think of the joke, so that nobody else does it.
Yeah. Yeah. And everyone's saying the same thing too on like crowd work clips. It's, hey, hey, are you guys dating? And then one of them inevitably will be like, I don't know. And then they're like, oh, he said he's not sure, but she said, yeah, there's something you got to work out here. That's like every crowd work clip. You pick out the people that are like newly on a date, and then you make them uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's interesting, because you said crowd work is harder for you, but I heard other comedians say that it's like super easy.
I wish it was. I mean, it's easy to do. It's not easy to be funny.
I would think crowd work is the hardest, because I could think of jokes and script it out and practice it. I mean, not anybody could do that, but I feel like that would be easier than to think of funny things on the fly in the moment. That's hard.
Yeah. I think they're confusing like doing well with crowd work and actually doing crowd work's very easy to do. You're just talking, but I think get myself in these.
Like you said, I think they do a lot of the same material over and over. It's like they have, like with what do you call it? Like not trolling, but when people are interrupting. Heckles. Yeah. Well, there's like the certain responses you guys have that are like in the can. So when they say it, like, I don't come down to the stripper pole and bother you at work or whatever, right?
That's a good one. I'm taking that one. Never thought of that.
That's like super cliche.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I'm just bad at conversations in general. So the idea of crowd work is just having a conversation with someone into a microphone with a bunch of other people listening. What a nightmare that is. I can't even like talk, like if I'm on the phone, I don't want other people listening to me. I have to like leave the room. I don't want people to like listen to me having a conversation. But that's like, I like just recently on that West Coast tour I was talking about doing, just more stuff like that. It wasn't always good. It was actually almost never good, but it is way more fun than, especially when I have to like do like an hour or something like that. I had a couple of shows where the opening acts or the hosts just like didn't show up, and so I had to fill a shit ton of time. I had one show where no one else showed up to perform. No hosts, no features, just me. And the guy tells me this right before I'm about to go on stage. So I had to I did an hour and 20 minutes. And that was not one? No, that was also no host showed up. So I had to do a longer set there. That one was Redmond, Oregon. And
that's right. Yeah.
But yeah, it's like an hour and 20 minutes, and I mean, you got to fill the time somehow. I can't, and it's also awkward to like just be doing these jokes, do your written material after doing like a whole bunch of just talking to the crowd or riffing or whatever it is. It just feels almost unnatural because a lot of my jokes are kind of like act outs too, which just feels awkward to like just launch into. You feel like you're putting on like a little play, and it's just kind of like I think it's just like uncomfortable for the audience. Um,
Do you
so
act to the chair or something ever? Like I always told that.
dude, I do
like,
like
when I took an acting class in college, and the acting teacher was like, "Don't ever act to a chair because the chair will outact you."
yeah, that's true. I gotta stop acting to these chairs. I'll stay in the middle of my set.
What was the thing that because you bombed in Fresno and you had to, you had to cut the short 15? What was the
Oh
problem?
my god, dude. Yeah, I
Oh,
ate
you
shit.
said the Starlight Theater instead of the Starline or something. And
Yeah,
then
exactly. That's what it was. It was it's called the Star Line, and I was like, yeah, well, and I talked shit about it too. So I was trying to make fun of it, and you can't make fun of it and say the name wrong. People people don't like that. Yeah, the crowd turned on me quick. Yeah, that was my first headlining set. I think I was supposed to do like 40, 45, and I made it to probably like 25, and I just said, you guys don't like me. I'm gonna get off the stage. Which looking back, oh my god, I can't believe how bad I must have been doing. I wish I had a tape of that set. It's been long enough now. I gotta see. It must have been horrific. I've never done that since. Just left like in the middle of a set because the crowd just hated me so much.
and then they wouldn't pay you the money because they're like, you
I
didn't.
think, yeah, he paid me. I think he paid me less. I think I asked for less. I was like, please don't pay me full. I did half of what I agreed to do.
Yeah.
Um,
What about corporate events? Do you ever do those? Because those are always the worst ones I hear from comedians. They're like, yeah, people's backs are turned. They're like eating dinner and stuff. And
oh my God. Yeah, I've never done one of those. But yeah, those are the shows where it's hard not to, I take it so personally. And you gotta like, you gotta not. You gotta just like let it roll off your back and like be tough. And I'm so not tough. Like a situation where people have their backs turned and are not paying attention. I'm just like, to them, it's just, yeah, there's like some guy talking. I'm not really thinking about it. But to me, it's just, oh, I'm pouring sweat. I'm like, these people hate me. They're ignoring me on purpose. And I'm going to get written up in the paper.
what
But for
about
them, it's just like, yeah, some
what
guy.
about good shows though? You've killed it obviously sometimes too.
Every once in a while, it'll go well. Yeah. That's what keeps you coming back. Um, yeah, like, yeah, even Vegas was like, the week was like up and down. And then Friday and Saturday were both just killer shows. They like loved me. It's like, well, I did the same set I was doing before. Maybe I had enough, I kind of ironed it out a little bit better by the end of the week. It's just, it's comedy is such a fickle industry. And when it goes well, it's awesome. And when it goes bad, it's just, I want to die. It's like, it makes me want to stop doing comedy, which I think I will probably someday because it's like, it's a lot of work.
Really?
And I
You'll
think
still make
so.
the skits and videos though, right?
Yeah, I'll always make skits and videos.
Okay.
That's like my favorite thing to do. And I think, I mean, honestly, that's what a lot of people that are coming to see me do stand up are like, they support me because of like my skits and videos. And it's great when they enjoy my set too, because I've been doing comedy or stand up like way longer. But I acknowledge that a lot of people are out. They're not coming out because they're like big fans of my stand up. They're usually fans of the overly excited tourist or whatever other videos I've done.
Is that one
Um,
still bringing in a lot of people? Because you stopped doing those.
Yeah, stop doing it. I mean, I would say it's bringing in a lot of people, but it is bringing in the people that are coming are usually half the people that are coming to see me are coming because of those videos, which is not a ton of people, but it is still getting people out and people still support. And I'm still selling like merch that is from that. I'm talking to a merch person right now who's trying to make me some more fresh new merch, but a lot of it's going to be like, are you joking my ass? And holy Snopes kind of merch. Still trying to, but I actually tried to bring the tourist back this year, but because I'm traveling so much earlier this year and then coming now for the rest of the year.
Oh yeah, because I
And
thought it was a movie or something or a TV show, or you were in talks with somebody about that.
yeah, that's just like everything else. It all just falls through in this damn town. Things just don't happen. And yeah, I mean, I'd rather just. I kind of came around to just bringing the character back, and then maybe if that went well, that could help spur the movie situation. Because the movie we're supposed to let's circle back beginning of this year, and it is now October, so we haven't spoken all year about it, not once. So that's where that went. But yeah, Funny or Die is busy with the other stuff, and I felt kind of weird about doing an overly excited tourist movie. No one is gonna like watch or like that. I didn't really understand like the drive to want to do that. What they really wanted to do was like bring the character back. And I was like, no, I'm like really sick of it. It is such a pain to do. Like it is like I would need to have more stipulations. Like I would need like a full day to do it where I don't have a show at the end of the night where like I've lost my voice and I'm all sunburnt and exhausted and shit. Just like plan the tour out where I can have just a little more time to and I'm not like driving myself crazy trying to film these videos. But I was always just like, no, I don't really want to bring it back. But then I started like, putting together some tour dates this year. And Lord knows I haven't. I mean, the past couple of years, like booking wise, acting wise, and stuff, I've been so quiet, and I'm hemorrhaging money. And I just like I need something else to happen. I'm like, who am I, to stop doing this thing that's been the biggest thing in my career to date. It's got me like the most fans. It's made, my whole social media presence what it is for the most part. It's gotten me so many followers and people coming out to shows. And I stopped doing it because I was really sick of it and it was really hard to do. And I'm just like, as you know, I'm just a lazy guy. So I was just like really sick of doing it. But I'm like, maybe I need to just stop being such a lazy ass and give the people what they want. Not a ton of people, but enough people that would be very excited if I brought it back. And as much as I was like embarrassed to do that character in public, that was a big part of it too. It was just like an embarrassing guy to play, being yelling in public, and people don't see that part of it when I stop recording, and then there's just like a bunch of tourists around, actual tourists.
Yeah.
And that I'm just like making an ass of myself. But I tried to bring it back this year, or asked Funny or Die if they'd be interested. And I was like, you guys aren't going to believe this, but after 6 years, I think I'm ready to I'm going to bring it back. And if we can do the same deal that we had last time, money wise, I'm cool with that. But there's got to be like more space in between, so I'm not going crazy. And they were basically just like, oh, we're barely a company anymore. They don't do like sketches. Yeah. They don't do like sketches, like that. They like produce a lot of stuff. They're producing the new At Midnight. They're bringing that show back on Comedy Central, and produce like movies and stuff, and help produce like American Vandal and stuff like that. But they don't do just like their page with a bunch of sketches on it, which is what they used to be. Like no one's on the front page of Funny or Die, anymore.
Yeah, whatever though, because it's like I don't know, like just I'm a real fan. Like I like the tourist stuff, but that's not even your best stuff. I feel like
Thanks,
your best
man.
stuff is like other like Dr. Sandwich. Am I the only one that loves that one? The best part of that one is when I'm looking at the sign, it says Dr. Sandwich Mediterranean Eats, and I'm like, okay, I guess he's just gonna ignore the part that it says Mediterranean Eats. And then you explain how kids move the letters around, and I'm like, that doesn't make sense. I'm laughing my ass off, and I'm like, this is so awesome. Like, I wish more people would understand how funny this is. Like, they don't get it.
Dude. Yeah. I mean, I appreciate that. I appreciate, when people like come to shows and they're like, I love the tourist, but I think like Two Guys on a Bench or Dead Kevin and stuff is funnier, or even my stand up too. People be like, I like found you from the tourist, but I think all your other stuff is even funnier. I'm like, that's my goal with the whole tourist thing.
Yeah,
it's like get a bunch of views, but I do think this other stuff I do is funnier.
Yeah, I feel like it's just going to be one of those that's just it's going to blow up, and it's going to be more than the tourist. That's my theory is what's going to happen. I think you got to just keep going because your content is gold. I mean, it's like you and Fahim are two of my favorite. Whenever I see a new video from either one of you, I'm like, oh, cool. What is it this time? It's like a Christmas present for me. I'm like, I can't wait. It's like, so you got to keep doing it. I think something's going to hit. I feel like,
thanks, man. I appreciate that. Yeah. You gotta be consistent with it. That's the thing.
Oh, really?
I mean,
like every week or what? Like,
I couldn't possibly do every week. I mean, I guess if I just like really, really put my mind to it, I could. And like people have like, I just had a friend recently give me this like pep talk because she makes money from TikTok, or she makes money because she does like branded stuff. So she'll work a brand or a product into her TikTok. She's got like 200,000 followers or something like that. And she's like, she makes a bunch of money from just like branded. TikTok content.
Oh.
But she was telling me, she's like, your stuff is so funny. If you just put out like 3 videos a week, and it sounds easy. And if it was guaranteed, if someone was paying me to make 3 videos a week, I would make 3 videos a week. But I find it so hard to make 3 videos a week, hoping that someday it'll turn into money in some way, or like grow my followers so much. If I could easily make 3 videos a week if I had a set amount of money that I was getting paid to make those videos. So
Well,
like
what
those,
if you took clips of your stand up though? Because like if you do like a 30-minute or 40-minute or whatever long stand up, and then you give it, can you like pay somebody on what's that site, Fiverr? Like you pay them to edit into clips. They'll make them like TikToks with all the pictures and the words and all the fancy.
oh man, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've been trying to put out more stand-up clips. I actually just, yeah, I mean, I don't have that many. I like never film my sets, so all the stand-up clips I've been putting out this past year, which is I've never put out, like, I never post my own stand-up. It's just like on YouTube from other people, Don't Tell or Comedy Central and stuff. And when people ask for a clip, I send them that because it just like looks better. I just don't like filming myself because it's just, I hate watching myself. I hate hearing myself. And it's just bad luck for me. I know if I'm recording a set, it's gonna go bad. And there's just that extra nervousness knowing that it's being recorded that just kind of gets in my head, I think, and just makes me a little more awkward. So I just like never record myself. But I have been taking old stand-up clips from like 2021 and I cut that up into like, 20 or so like jokes. And I've been putting those out this year. And it's good. It is what you got to do. But yeah, I don't have enough clips to do like people that are putting out stand-up clips like a few times a week. I'm like, God damn, that is a lot. I would run out after 2 weeks. Or I also don't like posting like newer jokes because I get so self-conscious or, like neurotic in my head where I'm like, oh, well, I don't want to post this new joke. And then I go and I try to do this joke on tour and then people have already heard the joke. I'm like, who do I think has already heard? Like these people don't watch your Instagram. What are you talking about? I get so in my own head in such a dumb way, but I am like that. I don't like putting like new jokes. So all the jokes I've been posting are like from a few years ago and jokes that I at least don't do all the time anymore. 'Cause I feel like a lot of people, some, not all, but a couple people that come to see me like per show are like fans that like watch everything I put out. And if those like 2 people out of like 40 people like have seen this joke on my Instagram, then they know how it goes. And that just that teeny bit like bothers me for some reason. And I need to get past it. I know I need to get past it. There's a lot of mental blocks, I think, that are hindering my career and have hindered my career. But I think this year has been a productive year for me as far as like kind of getting past those mental blocks. Started posting stand-up, which I've like never done because I'm so just like self-conscious about it. But I've started doing that. Started trying to promote myself more and do more, change my stand-up a little bit, and also reach out and try to book shows on my own, which I never have done.
Yeah, you're doing a tour. I mean, that's really cool because I don't think I've seen you do like a tour before.
Yeah, man. Yeah, this is like I've done a couple like mini ones like throughout the years. Like in 2017, 2018, when the Tourist was at like its max popularity, I was like, maybe tour would be a strong word, but I would just do a few road gigs here and there, and that's when I was like doing really well. And people were like coming out in droves because of that character, and that has dissipated for sure. But then like last year, 2022 I didn't do the road at all. I did 0, maybe towards like December. I did a couple like Kansas shows and that's it. But I got so frustrated because I don't like to reach out to people because I feel bad if I reach out and then I don't do well. And then I just feel like an idiot because I'm the one who asked, hey, can I headline your whatever, your venue or club or brewery or wherever it is? It's not just like asking to pop on a show. I'm like asking to headline. So that's like very embarrassing to ask to do that and then not do that great, which has happened. So I have gotten better at forcing myself to do that. And so this past like December, I posted on Instagram that I wanted to do more touring. If anyone has a venue, hit me up. And so I've just been doing that this year. I did like a little West Coast run last month we were talking about. And that was like, I did that all by myself. I had one show that was booked by my manager in Portland. And then all the other like 16 shows were just me reaching out, emailing, and Googling cities or people reaching out to me because they see I was going to be in the area. They give me another one, like the Chehalis one. And yeah, this coming trip, it's going to be a bunch of Kansas, Memphis, and Alabama, and a lot of that is all me or this guy in Kansas that knows me, and he got me like a week of shows, and then I'm doing a weekend in St. Charles. That was through my agent. Thank you, Stu. And then a couple shows that just I reached out to or they reached out to me, like individually. So this coming little leg is like well, I don't know how it's gonna go. It could go any which way. These shows, I don't know anything about them or or like who books them for a lot of these shows. And then my second leg is going to be in November, like early November. We're going East Coast, and that's like all through my agent. So I'm hoping that's like going to be more professional setup of shows. That's like a couple clubs and stuff. It's like DC
Nice.
and Springfield, Mass, and Red Lion, Pennsylvania. That's one that like I reached out to some random club in the middle. I was reaching out to everyone. The amount of people that respond to me, like sending an email or an Instagram message asking to do a show, is probably like 10%.
No, it's even less for me when asking people to do my podcast.
Oh, yeah, you know
like
how
1%.
It is.
So,
It is humbling.
yeah, you got to keep going though. You got to fail. You got to learn from the failure.
Numbers game. Yeah, you get the occasional sucker like me that says yes.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Are you going to do the Southwest at all? Are you going to hit Arizona? Is that maybe later?
No, not this year. But yeah, hopefully next year. I'm doing like Dallas and stuff, so hopefully I can do a whole like southeast, southwest run. But I've really like nothing planned. I've never done stand up in Arizona, and there's so many good clubs out there.
Yeah, there's a bunch of clubs. Ask Greg Warren.
Stand up Scottsdale and stuff.
Into, the Tempe Improv and Stir Crazy. There's like 4 or 5 clubs, but I think there's some in Chandler. I mean, I think there's even more.
Yeah.
But you come down for like during spring training, dude. It's like busy there. Like there'd be a lot of people at your show.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, just get packed around then, right?
Yeah, like it really from now until like April or May, it's going to be a lot of people traveling here, snowbirds and stuff. So yeah, it's a good show.
I hope. Yeah, this is like how far in advance you have to plan stuff like that too. Like I've already
really
Dallas Comedy Club in March, and that's what like 5 months away. And I'm trying to like build off of that. Cause I was trying to like, you realize this is my first time like doing so much of this stuff on my own, which I guess I could have done for the past few, I guess maybe not pandemic, but the past few years. But I just like I've always not wanted to. And I had a manager that was like, don't do that. It looks unprofessional. For the comic to reach out, which I do understand. A lot of them don't respond to like clubs usually will just not respond to an actual comic reaching out. They got to be like an agent or a manager reaching out. Like
you could, I know a lot of people, like a lot of the bands that I talk to, like they'll reach out to me and it'll be like, I'll find out later. I'm pretty sure this is a story. It's like a lot of bands do this where they'll make up an agent or a manager and then it'll be them though, pretending. Do you ever do that?
I've never done that, but it's not a bad idea. Luckily, I do have a new agent now, and he's working hard. He's getting me stuff.
Yeah, that's good. Are you doing any movie and TV work? Do you have I think you had something coming out.
Don't have anything coming out. I don't think that I can think of.
Okay, no. So, and then obviously it's a strike now. So, right, you guys are not.
Yeah. There's not. Yeah, not a whole lot. I mean, I wasn't working a whole lot before this. That's what sucked so bad about last year is I booked 2 commercials and then neither of them aired. So I like was really banking on those to like make me a bunch of money. And then when they don't air, you make like no money. You get like the day rate and that's it. So then that really inspired. My money has been plummeting. So that inspired me to like work harder and push harder with stand up this year. That's like where these tours kind of came from.
Okay.
But hopefully, more TV and movie stuff once this strike is over. I can get back on that horse, but that is a tough one. That's like, you have no control. So I'm going to like keep pushing with stand up for now. It's an exhausting endeavor. I don't see myself doing it forever. It's a young man's game, like doing the road. But it is a lot of fun. And I can feel my career in kind of a pivotal moment. I think I'm kind of in like do I like this? Do I love this? Do I hate this? I'm somewhere between. Do I love this or do I hate this? But I have a lot of fun and there's a lot of ups and a lot of downs, but I'm kind of just making myself kind of do it and learn and try to get better, because I've come this far with it.
Yeah.
Kind of just, I gotta just, there's really no turning back, even if I wanted to. So I might as well just like work my ass off and see if I can find a way to have more confidence, and to like, love myself while doing it.
Absolutely. Well, I love the videos, and I would definitely come see if you come to Arizona for stand up. I know you
Thanks,
got another
man. I would love to.
after this, so I'll let you go. Are you still? I wanted to promote too. We always promote a charity at the end. Are you still working at the animal shelter, or do you want to promote that?
Oh, I was. They stopped. They like closed during COVID, and then I just stopped going. So no.
Well,
I don't
people
know.
can donate a few bucks if they after they buy a ticket to your show. If they have a couple bucks left over, they could throw it that way, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, Venmo me. I'll make sure the money gets where it's going.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you could take some charity too. Yeah, I think we all can.
Yeah, this time for sure.
Well, thank you, Ryan, for doing this, and I look forward to more videos.
All right, man. Thanks for having me. Good talking to you.
All right. See you later.
Later, man.
Thank you for taking the time to listen to the full podcast episode. Please help support our guests by following them on social media and purchasing their products, whether it be a book, album, film, or other thing. And if you have a few extra dollars, please consider donating it to their favorite charity. If you want to support the show, you can like, share, and comment on this episode on social media and YouTube. And if you want to go the extra mile, you can give us a rating or review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or Google Podcasts. Finally, make sure you're subscribed to the show on YouTube for the video versions and other exclusive content. We appreciate your support. Have a great rest of your day, and shoot for the moon.